Yes, good evening, guys. Today in Monera, today we will going to start the revision of the two chapters. Okay, chapter 1 and chapter 2, both of things are important, right? Before we going to start the chapters, yes, I'm launching the poll about the technical check. Am I audible clearly and is the blackboard visible clearly? Okay, if you're having any issues regarding if you can't hear me properly or if you can't see the PPT properly, then please check with your internet connection and hardware. If the problem still persists, once go out of the class and come back again, that will be solve the problems. Okay, just check with your internet and post it. Am I audible clearly or not? If I am audible clearly, then click on yes, otherwise no. Okay, yes. Okay, except one or two people, everybody can hear me properly. Okay, just check with your internet, guys. I'm ending the poll now. Okay, my name is Subramanya, as everyone know. Okay, I'm taking your biology classes, and today we are revising the classes for the midterm examination. Okay, some of the topics are not taken out from the CBSE, but what's happening here is in some of the schools the syllabus completion is very low. Those schools, they included the other things also. Okay, that's why we are going through the whole process, not leaving anything. Okay, so we are come across with two chapters today. We are discussing two chapters. One is the living world and the second one is the biological classification. Okay, before we going to start the class, we will make a test. The question is simple. As we go from the species to kingdom in a taxonomical hierarchy, the number of common characteristics is, they're asking what happens when you are going from species to kingdom. Okay, will decrease, will increase, remain same, may increase or decrease. I'm launching the poll now, guys. Click on the option or reply with the options. Okay, reply with the options. You guys know, right? This is one of the easiest question. You have to remember that pyramid. If you remember the pyramid, and you can answer clearly and properly. What's happening? Some of you are confused. What's happening there? Any confusion? Any confusions in that? Yes. Last 30 seconds left. You guys have another 30 seconds to answer. Just try to imagine that particular. Okay, try to imagine that particular and think what's happening, what may happen. Yes, good evening guys. Yes, correct. I'm ending the poll now. Okay, and I'm sharing the results. 69% chosen option A, 31 B, others nobody chosen option C and D. Correct. What is the correct answer? Just imagine this particular pyramid. Okay, what happens here? Always remember, below will be species. We are start from the species, and above will be the kingdom, right? They're asking what happens if you go from the species to kingdom. As you go from species to kingdom, number of species may increase, right? The species number will be increased. What happens to the general characteristics, common characteristics? Common characteristics will decrease. If you compare dog with a dog, both are similar, right? But if you compare the dog with the cat, what happens? There are very few characters which are similar, right? You can compare it with, right? So it will decrease. The correct answer is option A. Okay, correct, Abhishek. Aishwarya, yeah, correct, Abhishek, right? It will decrease. Yep. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to the next one. Next question is of the subjective type. Okay, today we are mainly going with the CBSE kind of pattern. Okay, they are asking what is meant by living. Give any 4 defining features of the life forms. Okay, before you answer what is living, you have to know about the terms or the features of the living forms, right? We have come across with certain living characteristics. Those are these things. Okay, first one you can discuss, that will be the growth. right? Growth is the one of the important character of the living being, but you can't say by the growth only it will be living or non-living. Why? Because your dustbin also grow, right? And your body also grow. Where we have to differentiate, right? Living organisms grow from internally, but other things grow from the externally. Even though growth is a character of the living being, this is not well defining. You can't simply say that growth, which are having the growth is living, which are do not having the growth is non-living, right? So growth is not that much 100% sure. What about reproduction? Reproduction, yes, only living organisms do the reproduction. But what about the mule? What about the another one, drones, or what about the unfertile human beings, right? Those you can't say non-living. Those are also living, right? There are also confusions are there, correct? What about the worker bees, right? So this also having partial results. Okay, you can't say only reproductive or having reproductive organisms are living. What about metabolism? Yes, metabolism is really an important character of the living being. There also, what about living reaction happening in the test tube? Okay, what about this? I'm here writing the things or exceptions. Okay, like dustbin or mountain. Right, correct, Ananya. Right, metabolism happening in a test tube. You can't say that's living. You can simply say that that is the living reaction, right? You can say only it's a living reaction. Then when you can say metabolism is a living thing, when it is happening within the cells, okay? Remember, there is a cell and a reaction happening within the cell, then you can see that's actually living characteristics. Then we come to the living cellular organization. Remember, cellular organization is the one of the best defining character of the living being, okay? Because only living organisms are composed of the particular cellular organization, not the non-living organisms, okay? Yes, it's one of the best character of the defining character of the living being. And what about consciousness? Consciousness is also one of the best defining character of the living being. Okay, consciousness means either response to stimulus, all those things. But remember, whatever character we are taking, you can't take a single character and define, right? You can't take a single character like something like a consciousness and you can say that only the organism which have the consciousness is living. What's the reason for that? Because you know that, right? The person which is in coma is not at all having the consciousness, right? You can't say he's dead because he is living, right? So we can't take any single character, not single character, okay? Not single characters are able to define the living beings. Then what we did the definition. The definition tells that the self-replicating, evolving, self-regulating and interactive systems and whose are capable of external stimulus, they are called as the living beings. Living beings. Remember guys, why I have to tell this? Because this is the definition which is given in your textbook and they may ask this definition for this. They may simply ask what's the definition of the living beings, okay? Yes, that's why you have to remember this particular definition. Always remember, self-replicating, you are mentioning one replication, evolving, you are mentioning the progressive change, self-regulating, you are explaining the homeostasis, and interactive system, you are explaining the consciousness and responding to external stimuli. Okay, this is called as the living being. Remember this particular. Okay, I think you guys will remember this. Yes, yeah. A question is asked in the CBS exam. The question is simple. Okay, a scientist come across with a plant which he feels a new species. Okay, someone like Abhishek thinks that that plant is a new species. Okay, but he want to go through the next process to define it. Okay, what are those next processes they are asking? Okay, then which one you have to come think of? You have to think about the biodiversity. Can you guys respond? What is the meaning of biodiversity? What is the meaning of the biodiversity? Yes, anyone? So many people are here. So many people, right? 81, 92 people are here. Yes. Yes. Living organism, difference, right? Different kinds of, different species, right? different species in a defined area. Correct, right? In a defined area. So remember, if there is only one species are present in a defined area, only one species are present, you can't say it's a biodiversity. You can simply say it's a some ecosystem or something. Okay, what you have to there, diversity should be there. Okay, there must be several kinds of plants, several kinds of animals should be there. Yes, varieties of species should be there, right? Defined area. So what is the major category here? Varieties should be here. Okay, whenever you are writing the definition of the biodiversity, remember to add the word varieties. Okay, then how we have to define it, how we have to collectively process it, we will have its certain characteristics or names. Okay, certain things. What is nomenclature? Nomenclature means naming the organism, right? We have to naming the organism. We have to name the organism. Then I can say, okay, I can name it properly. If a Pritam is there, I can say simply say it, or observing his face, I can say he's a Pritam, right? How we get to know that? Because I know the characteristic of that particular face, and someone is named him as Pritam, right? That's why I know his name. Exactly same condition. We have to name that organism, okay? But before you name that organism, you have to identify the organisms, right? You have to identify. What is the identification name? Identification means correctly or identifying properly or correctly. Okay, identifying correctly or correct. You can also say like that, or you can also say that describing correctly, describing properly. Okay, so that's what we call it as identification. If I say it's a mango plant, I have to have some characters and I have to tell that it's a mango plant, right? And then what we will do, we will do the classification. What is classification then? Classification means systematic arrangement. Yes, systematic arrangement is called the classification. Okay, you have to arrange it systematically, right? You have to arrange it systematically. So three things, remember, nomenclature means naming, describing or identifying this identification. Systematic arrangement is called classification. Then what is taxonomy? Can anyone tell what is the meaning of taxonomy? Both in YouTube and here also. Correct. Grouping of organism. Okay. Swaru, any other answers? We will see that picture later. Okay. Category, yes. Principle and procedures of principles and procedures. Yes, no, not that. Principles and procedures of all these things: nomenclature, identification, and classification. Remember, definition is very easy. Okay, definition is very easy. Just you have to write principles and procedure of nomenclature, identification, classification. If you include all these three and if you make a procedure, that's what we call it as the taxonomy. Okay, correct. Most of you guys are told correctly. Okay, then can anyone answer what is the meaning of taxa? What is the meaning of taxa? Can anyone answer what is the meaning of taxa? Meaning of taxa. Yes, rank, group, level. Okay, lot of answers are coming. Taxa means a group of organism belongs to any category, right? Group of organisms. It may be like birds or it may be humans, right? Group of organisms is called group of organisms forming a unit and belongs to any category. Those are called as the taxa. Okay, that's called as the taxa. I think you understand that particular one, right? Correct. Swaru, belongs to any category is taxa. Correct, Abhishek. Right. So we will go to the next. So there is another one question. We got the answer for this, right? These are the how we have to do this. We have to do that through the process of nomenclature, identification, classification, and taxonomy. Then another question came. They are asking one name, Mangifera indica lin, and they are asking give the common name of the plant and what do the first two parts of the name denote? Why are they written in italics? And what is the meaning of lin written at the end of the name? Okay. Can you give the common name of this plant? Mangifera indica, common name? Yes, right. Everyone know the name, right? The common name is mango or mango tree, but we don't know the other three names. What are the answer for other three names? We should have the certain rules for naming that particular organism. Okay, na? So before we going to explain the rules for naming that organism, there are two organizations are there who are giving actually rules for giving that particular names. Okay, what are they? They are ICBN and ICZN. Remember guys, these are very important one either ICBN or ICZN will be definitely asked in your question. Definitely. Okay, definitely will ask either ICBN or ICZN. What are these? ICBN means International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. That means which deals with the plants. And ICZN means International Code for the Zoological Nomenclature, which actually deals with the animals, right? So try to remember these two things because these are highly important, correct? Aman, Soru, all those people. Okay, so according to these two things, we are actually going to process the rules. Okay, these are given certain rules. Okay, so what are those rules then? The first rules, it should be in Latin and written in italics. Should be in Latin or it should be written in italics and should be Latinized irrespective of the origin. Like Indica name comes from the word India, right? But what we did, we converted that India name into Indica. That means what we did, we Latinized the things. It should be Latinized. And what is the second rule? First word genus and second word will be species epithet or species. Always you have to write genus in the first and species in the second category. Okay. What is the third rule then? Third rule is underlined whenever handwritten. If I write it in my hand, then I should underline it, and it should make it italics when printed. Okay, why we are doing it? Why we are printed in italic? Why we are writing in handwritten? We are underlining it because to indicate the Latin origin of those words, to separate those words from the other regular words. Okay, and fourth important is the genus should start from the capital letter. Check wherever, okay, scientific name are there, genus should start from the capital letter and species should start from the small letter. Okay, one example is here, Mangifera indica, Lin. Can anybody answer what is the meaning of Lin here? What is the meaning of Lin here, or what we say for the Lin? Can anybody answer? Lin. Yes, correct, right? Yes, it is called as the citation. It is called as the citation or the author who gave the name. If you ask the question in the CBSE, you write like it defining the name of the author. Okay, it is the author name. Why we have to write the author name? I can write like citation because in CBSE they only given citation, not the author name. Okay. Yes, correct, Abhishek, right? And here also Apurva, Preetham, Chetan, right? We have to given it's a citation and it's actually a author name. Tanmay, you can also write it like it's the name of the scientist who gave the name. You can write like that also. Remember, okay? So then come the systematics. When we think about all these things, then what's the difference between a taxonomy and a systematics? Systematics is like the taxonomy only, is dealing with the similarities and dissimilarities. Okay, it is dealing with the similarities and dissimilarities. Okay, so then what is the difference between the taxonomy and this particular systematics? It deals with the relationships. Remember, whenever you are defining the systematics, write down systematics deals with the similarities and dissimilarities of the organism with respect to their phylogeny or with respect to their relationships. Okay, that's very important. Like human is here and monkey is here. Okay, we know that, right? Monkey and humans, monkey and we are actually related, right? We are closely related. And we know that it's originated from a common ape-like organisms, right? A common ancestor will be there. So we can say like those relationships where we study, right? That's actually systematics. Systema naturae, from the word originated, like systema naturae, that means organized way. Okay, organized way. Okay, Yeah, we are finding the ancestor, right? Correct. Okay, we'll go to the next. Those are the taxonomic categories. Taxonomic categories define the particular group of organisms. Okay, it always starts from the species. You can see here species smaller, right? That means less number of individuals are there. And what is the meaning of species? Someone may ask you, what is species? You can answer, species are morphologically and anatomically similar organisms can reproduce with each other and produce the fertile offspring. You have to write the 3 points. Remember, they should be similar morphologically. Okay, they should be similar morphologically and anatomically, and they should reproduce. When they reproduce, they should produce the fertile offspring. They should produce the fertile offspring. Try to remember this. Okay, only the species, what you can say, definition is a little tougher. Okay, other all the things are easy. How can I say that? Genus means related species, family means related genus, order means related family, class means related order, phylum means related class, and kingdom means related phylum. There are another one name for the phylum, right? Another name will be, what is that? Division, right? Where we use the word division, it is in plants or in animals. Where we use the term phylum, or sorry, where we use the term division. Yes, correct, right? We use the term division only in plants, not in animals. Okay, remember that. Okay, we use the word phylum only in the animals. Okay, so this is the hierarchical system. Lower level will be species and higher level will be kingdom. Okay, what is above the kingdom? Above the kingdom we have the domain. Okay, what are the 3 domains of life? Can anyone define what are the 3 domains of life? Yes, correct. 3 domains of life will be archaea, eukarya, archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. Right? I will write it systematically. Here also I will write systematically. Okay. Yes, correct. Archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. So remember, guys, until the last year, these things are not included in the syllabus. Okay. This year, even though they are not included, these 3 domains or 6 kingdom of classification, they mentioned the 3 domains of life. They can simply ask, what are the 3 domains of life? Then you have to answer. First is the archaea, second is the bacteria, third one is the eukarya. Okay. Archaea contain archaebacteria, bacteria contains bacteria, and eukarya contains eukaryotes. Correct, Aman, right? So general way, species to the kingdom will be there. Okay, in the 5 kingdom system. What happens when you move from species to the kingdom? What happens to the number of species? Number of species will increase, right? Number of species, what happens? It increases when you move from the species to the kingdom. What happens to the number of characters? The characters will decrease, or you can say similarities will decrease. Okay, similarities will decrease. Okay, you can remember the base of that particular pyramid, right? Base of the pyramid, and think about that's representing the number of species. Okay, you can think, right? Species are small, what you can say, smaller in surface area when compared to the kingdom. Then you can say that species contain less number of species than the kingdom. Okay, you can simply think like that also. Next one is the common name of the certain species. Okay, don't think that these things are not important. These are very important. They can ask the question directly or indirectly. Okay, so they are given 2 types. One, mammals, they are given mammal example, that is man, and another is the insect example. If you go to the plants, they give one dicot example and another one is the monocot example, right? What happens to the man? Man belongs to the Homo sapien biological name, and genus is Homo, and family belongs to Hominidae. Remember DAE, family end. And order belongs to Primata, or the organisms which living on the tree, mammals which living on the tree. And class means Mammalia, having mammary glands, right? I think you remember those things, right? And chordata means having the notochord, right? Having notochord. And what about horsefly? Horsefly name is Musa domestica, and this actually belongs to genus Musa, family Mucidae, DAE, and order Diptera, and class Insecta, and belongs to the phylum Arthropoda, right? And yes, if you go to the mango, a mango belongs to Mangifera indica, scientific name. This is very important. Normally they will call about the Mangifera indica only. Okay, Mangifera anacardiaceae, sapindales, and belongs to dicot, and it's an angiosperm. And wheat is name is Triticum sativum, belongs to Triticum genus, Poaceae or grass family, and belongs to Poales, and monocotyledon, and it also belongs to the angiosperms. These things are very important. Try to remember. Okay, one question will be definitely from this. Okay, they may ask the complete sequence, or they may ask just a family of particular, or a genus of the particular, or order of the something. Okay, that's why try to remember this. Then another question came. The question is asking, what are taxonomical aids? Give the importance of some, and how explain how these are helping conserving and understanding the biodiversity. They're asking two questions. We have to explain how they are helping in conservation, and how they are helping in understanding the biodiversity. Okay, can you guys tell me what is taxonomical aid? Anyone? What are the taxonomical aids? Yes, it is related in certain part, but as I already told you, in some schools the syllabus is very less. Okay, in those schools they are also included for this MT. From the final year exams it will be deleted. Okay, some schools only 2-3 chapters are over. That's why. Okay, correct. Taxonomical are techniques or procedures. Either they are techniques or procedures to identify organisms. Okay, remember what may be they are into several types. So we are going to through one and one. Okay, first one is the herbarium. Okay, what are herbaria? Remember the definition. Herbaria are the sheets where plants are dried, pressed, and preserved in sheets. Okay, remember the words. You have to write dried, pressed, and preserved. If you write these three words, I will give you full marks. Okay, because whenever we are checking the answer sheets, we don't want all the things as it is from the bookish. Okay, don't by heart all the things, don't write as it is in the book. Okay, we only getting like if you have the same definition or similar kind of the meaning, then also we will give the marks. Okay, so try to understand the things. So what is herbaria? Herbaria is plants which are dried, pressed, and preserved in sheets. Okay, so the important thing regarding this is, what's the use of this then? It helps in the identification of other plants. Okay, it's help in the identification of the plants. So how we are doing? We are taking a plant and we are pressing it, and we are removing the water from that. When it becomes dried, we are preserving in a herbarium sheet. Okay, yes, identification as a specimen. And they may ask another question also. What is that question? They may ask about the herbarium label. Okay, because it's given in the book. What herbarium label contain? Herbarium label contain name of the plant. Okay, name of plant. What are the names it will contain? It will contain both names. One scientific name also, and another also common name. Remember, okay, scientific name and also the common name. Then what it contains? It contains the collector's name, yes, and collection place, okay, where we collected, and also the reference number, right? Reference number is like a library number, right? So where we keep all these herbarias, we will keep in a systematic order in a herbarium. Okay, so how you can say that it's like a library of the herbaria sheet. Okay, it's a library of herbaria sheet. That means we gave the reference number and we collected it in a systematic order. It's not like how you keep your books. Okay, if you throw the books wherever you want, like you kept it somewhere and you forget something, like it's not like that. What you are doing here, We are keeping it systematically. Okay. What is the size of the label? Size of the label is 30 into 45. If you remember 30 into 45, you can remember like 3, 4, 5, right? But it's not included in the CBSE. So don't take tension about the MT. Okay. Then comes the botanical gardens. Botanical gardens contains living organisms or non-living organisms. Can you guys reply? Botanical gardens contains living organisms or non-living organisms? Yes, it is containing the living organisms. And what kind of conservation it is? Is it ex situ conservation or in situ conservation? What you can say? It's a ex situ conservation. Some of you have doubt probably. What is ex situ and in situ? Ex situ conservation means conserving a particular plant or animals, conserving outside of its natural habitat, outside of its natural habitat. Okay, think that what you can think, a tiger is in the forest. Okay, but someone is threatening that tiger. What you will do? You will take that particular tiger from the forest, then you will keep it in a zoo. Okay, then it is outside its natural habitat, right? It's a ex situ conservation. But if the tiger is in danger, then you make that particular forest into national forest. Then nobody can enter, right? Then you are conserving that particular tiger in where? In its natural habitat only, right? Then it is called as the in situ conservation. Okay, in situ type of the conservation. Okay, we will learn that in the later classes also, in the 12th class also. Just remember, ex situ means outside conservation, in situ means inside the natural habitat. Okay, reserve forest, that's also correct. So there is another one question. Okay, correct, Aman, Abhishek, right? So another one question I want to ask: it contain endemic species or exotic species? Botanical garden, correct. It contains both endemic and exotic species. What endemic and what is exotic? Endemic species are the species which are already present in that particular area. I may take an example of mango. Okay, mango is present in your area. It's endemic. Okay, not endemic. It's endemic. Okay, endemic. What is exotic? If you take the example of kiwi fruit, then what happens? Kiwi fruit is not ours, right? It is coming from some other nations. Then you can call it as the exotic. Okay, botanical garden contains both endemic plants and also the exotic plants. So remember that. Okay, endemic and both endemic and the exotic type of the plants. Okay, so if I can say simply, it is what it will do. It will do the germ plasma conservation. What is germ plasma conservation? Germ plasma conservation is easy. Okay, that means conserving that particular plant organism, plant species. But if I want to make it more scientific naming, then I can see it as the botanical garden helping the germ plasm conservation. Okay, then what is museum? Museum is containing the dead organisms, right? It containing the, yes, dead plant or animals, dead plant and animals. It may also contain the fossils. Correct, Ananya, right? Sorry, correct, Surabhi, Preetam, right? It also may contain the fossils also. Is it conservation? Is it a type of conservation? No, right? Here dead is there. There is no conservation. So what is the use of that? It's the use of education. We use the museum for the purpose of the education, and we construct in the schools and some other buildings. Okay, so remember, it also contains dead means inanimate objects or inanimate. Okay, yes, for the education or study purpose. Okay, when you come to the insects, so what we will do to do the insects? We will pin down the insect. We will do the pin. Okay, pinning. What is the meaning of pinning? Just think, okay, I'm writing an insect like this. Just think this is an insect. Okay, it's an eye. Just think like that. I know it do not look like an insect. Okay, so what I will do, if I take a pin and if I put this to the sponge, then I can say it as the pinning. Okay, so this is called as the pinning. So next is the zoological park. Zoological park is the also contain living organisms. This is also a type of ex situ conservation. This is also type of the ex situ conservation. What we will do in the zoological park? In zoological park, we will conserve the animals for the purpose of what? For the purpose of recreation for ourselves, right? And also we will do the breeding programs, right? Any other use of the zoological park? Breeding programs, genetical programs, genetical labs also contain certain zoos and any others, right? This as a touring place, all these things are related to the zoological park, use of the zoological park, right? So all these are related to that. When we come to the documentation, first one comes is the key. What is the key then? Key is the, can anyone define what is key? Correct, Swaroop. Correct. Right. What is key? Anyone answer what is key? I'm not getting a single answer. What's happening here? Yes, similarities and differences. Correct. When we are defining, correct, that's based on the contrasting character. Based on the contrasting character. What we call that particular contrasting character? When you call that contrasting character is called as the couplet. Remember, contrasting character is called couplet. Don't forget. Okay. Every line, when I'm telling you, every line or every sentence in that particular key is called as the lead. Okay. Okay. What we will do, we will have a contrasting character like have legs, do not have legs, or have wings, do not have wings, have fur, do not have fur. Okay. And we will select one. Okay. If our organism containing the wings, then we select that one and we will leave the another one. But they are present in together, we call it as the couplet. Okay. And each sentence is there, right? Having a wing or having a particular shape or having legs. Okay. Those are called as lead because they are giving us the particular meanings. Okay. Correct, Connor. Right. Correct, Swaroop also. Okay. So that's the key. They may ask about what is key, they may ask what is couplet, and they may ask what is lead. These are for 1 marks. It is very important. Yes, for different categories we will use the different keys. Okay, so we will make it in a separate order and we will use it. Okay. Yes, correct, Abhishek. There are some recording description is also there. Anand, do you have any doubt? You raised your hand. Yes, there are recording description also there. What are those? Flora. Flora contains all plants in an area. Remember, all plants in area means it contains both the pteridophyte, bryophyte, angiosperms, gymnosperms, everything, along with the climate, season, when it will flower, all the things. Okay, flora. What about manuals then? Manuals are a simple booklets. Okay, a simple booklets help in identification. Okay, help in identification. Okay. And what is monograph? Monograph means a complete information about a single taxon. Okay, complete information about single taxon. Okay. So what about taxon? What is the meaning of taxon? Taxons means any group of organism within that belongs to any category. Okay, if I say humans, human is a taxon which belongs to the category species. Okay, if I say animals is a category, taxon which belongs to the category kingdom. Okay, any, right? Taxon definition, a group of organism belongs to any category. Okay, what are catalog then? Catalog is just a simple register of organism in an area, register of plants or animals in an area. Okay, so remember in CBSE they never ask about the definition of these things. They only ask what is the recording description or what is monograph. Okay, only monograph you have to remember. Monograph means it is defining about a single taxon. It's defining about the single taxon. Is organisms a taxon? if you say organisms, it may be a taxon, but it contains a complete whole new level, right? Organisms means all the living beings. Yes, if you consider that, you can say that. Okay, understood this? We will go to the next one. Do you consider person in coma living or dead? What do you guys consider? Is he living or is he dead? What do you guys say? I'm expecting the answer. Someone is saying living, someone is, so many people are saying living. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. When you consider all the characters are the definition of living organisms, then you can say they are living. But when you consider only consciousness is the character, then you have to say neither living nor non-living. But when they are asking in CBSE, they consider only the consciousness as the character. That's why if they ask you that, do you consider person in coma is living or dead, you have to write neither living nor non-living, neither living nor non-living. Okay, nor non-living. Remember, okay, the person is coma is neither living. You don't know he is dead. You can't say he's dead. Okay, he may come to life. You can't say he's living because he is not at all responding, right? So you have to write like this: neither living nor non-living. Okay, Laishram Swaru. Okay, correct it. So if they ask this question in this exam, write it like neither living nor non-living. Okay. One question came, easy question, you have to answer. Which of the following is a defining characteristics of living organism? Growth, ability to make sound, reproduction, response to the external stimuli. You can't say like that, Abhishek. Okay. I am launching the poll now. Okay. I'm launching the poll now. Yes. I know you guys can answer very quickly. Yes. Okay. Yes, quickly. 81% are here. I will check how quickly you guys can answer. Okay. Here also Abhishek, Swaru, Laishram, Aman, Shimanji. Answer. Yes. How many seconds left? Still 30 seconds left. Okay, I'm expecting. Correct, Swaru. Correct, Shimanji. Laishram, check once. Swaru, correct. Aman, if you put ACD, then which one I have to select? Yes. Yeah. Right. I'm ending the poll now. Okay. I'm ending the poll now. If anyone want to answer quickly. Okay. I'm ending the poll. Yes. And I'm sharing the results. Nobody choose an option A, nobody choose an option B. That's really good. 7% choose an option C and 93% choose an option D. Correct, right? So what's happening here? Growth is okay, but partial. Ability to make sound is no. That's all no, right? And reproduction, yes, it's also character, but we consider mule all the things. We know that the correct or more appropriate answer is response to the external stimuli. Okay. Remember, whenever they ask, always choose a priority to the response to external stimuli or the cellular organization. These two things are very defining characterization. Okay, very defining character. Whenever multiple choices there, try to find these two answers. If both of them are there, then you will get the confusion, right? Then either go for the response for the external stimuli only. Sorry, if there is response to the external stimuli and cellular organization, then you have to think. Okay, then go for the consciousness, where consciousness is there. Okay, this question is also normally asked. Okay, and so we are completed the first chapter. If you have any doubt, post. Okay, and remember to read one more thing, which is the exclusive character. Growth and reproduction are exclusive character in plants and animals. Okay, try to read that. That also most asked question in the CBSE. Okay, yes, shall we move on? We will go to the next chapter, that's biological classification, how it's happening, all those things. Okay, first question came, they are asking How the five kingdom classification is advantageous over the two kingdom classification. And remember, in your textbook, only two kingdom and five kingdom classification are given. Okay, we will check the what are those. First is the two kingdom classification, which is given by the Aristotle, and you know that he simply divided the organisms, right? Like having the blood anema and without having the blood anema, right? Anema and anema. Same kind, he also made two kingdom. One is plant and another is animalia. Plant kingdoms contain plants plus fungi and also the sum of the protista. Okay, and what this animalia contains? Animalia contains all the animals and also the sum of the protista. But what is the issue happened here? Here he didn't give account for the bacteria, or he didn't put the fungi in a proper order, or he didn't explain about the virus, or like, and don't know about virus, that's secondary. Okay. And also, first thing originated in the earth is bacteria and their ancestors, right? He didn't respond to that. He didn't mention that. Okay, that's why it become failure. Later, what happened after the several changes? Five kingdom classification come, which is given by who? Who gave the five kingdom classification? Anyone? Can anyone mention who gave the five kingdom classification? Correct. R.H. Whittaker. Remember his name. His name is very, very, very important. Okay. Yes. So many times they ask this question. R.H. Whittaker. Okay. So he divided the organisms into five kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Shushma, do you have any doubt? You raised hands. Okay. So first one is the cell type, cell wall, nuclear membrane, body organization, and mode of nutrition. Cell types, remember, only Monera contain prokaryotic kinds of the cell types. All the other contains eukaryotic type of the cellular organization. Remember, okay. So what is the second thing? Cell wall. How about it? Monera contain the cell wall. What it's made up of? It is made up of the murine, right? It is made up of the murine. What about Protista? Some of them contain the cell wall, some of them not, right? Example, if I go to the protozoa, it won't contain any cell wall, right? If I go to the euglenites, it have a pellicle kind of thing, right? And what about fungi? They have that, but their cell wall is made up of the chitin, right? Yes, I can also write peptidoglycan here. Both are same, right? Peptidoglycan. And what about Plantae? Plantae also contain the cell wall, but it's made up of the cellulose. But remember, animals don't contain any cell wall. Okay. What about nuclear membrane then? It's also simple. Prokaryotic is only one that's absent nuclear membrane. All the other have the nuclear membranes, right? Then what is body organization? Remember, when you come to the body organization, both these things, both Monera and Protista have the cellular, or you can say unicellular kind of the body organization. All the other are multicellular. It may be loose tissue, or it may be tissue and organ level, or it may be tissue, organ level, or organ system level. Highest will be in the animals. Okay. But remember, these two are unicellular. Okay. When you come to the mode of nutrition, I want to ask a question. Okay. What is that question is, which organism have most nutritional diversity? Most nutritional diversity. Can anybody answer? Which kingdom have most nutritional diversity? What is the meaning of nutritional diversity? Nutritional diversity means diversity, you know, right? Nutrition, you know. Which I'm asking, which kingdom have more different kinds of the nutrition? Yes, you guys are correct, absolutely correct. The kingdom Monera, okay, most nutritional diversity. Why I am asking, why I am saying like this? Most nutritional diversity. Why I am saying like this? Because you know that Monera contains autotrophs. In autotroph, it contains photosynthetic organisms, chemosynthetic organisms. In heterotrophs, it contains what you can say. It contains parasites, predators, and it also contains the organisms which grow on the dead and decay materials, endoparasites, exoparasites, right? Holozoic nutrition, symbiotic kind of nutrition, right? It have most diversified kind of the nutrition. So we called as the most nutritional diversifying organisms. Okay. What about Protista? Most of them are autotroph, like desmids, and some of them are heterotroph. What are fungi? Fungi are heterotrophs. Either it may be saprophyte or parasite. None of them are autotrophs. None of them are holozoic. Okay, remember that. Then what about plantae? Most of them are photosynthetic. That's why most of them are autotrophic only. Okay. So autotrophic means they can produce their own food. You know, most of the plants are autotrophic except a few. But those exceptions are very, very tiny, right? 0 point some percent only. That's why we didn't mention like that. We simply mentioned plants are autotrophic. Okay. And when you come to the animals, they are heterotrophic. That means holozoic, most of them, or saprophytic. When you go to the lower level of the animals, right? Kingdom Porifera or Nidaria, all those organisms, some of them may be a saprophyte, but most of them are holozoic. Someone is asking, what is the meaning of predators? Predators are the organisms who actually prey on the others, who kill others and eat them. Okay. Then how you differentiate between a predator and a pathogen? Pathogens simply kill the organisms. Okay. It may live inside the body of the organism and it may kill or it may not kill. Okay. Predator is not like that. Okay. Predator is a prudent, we call it as, because predators think about it. Okay. Think about it and it will kill only the organisms when it's hungry. Okay. It will never present inside the body of the prey. Okay. Holozoic means it's eating the complete food, is the holozoic. Okay. Algae comes under what? Algae comes under the plantae. Remember, algae comes under the plant, algae. Okay. Yes, correct. But remember, predators is also eating other, pathogen is also eating other. The difference, try to imagine. Predator think about the tiger, pathogen think about the bacteria. Then you can simply understand. Okay. Next one question is there. The question is, explain the diversification in Kingdom Monera. Okay. How the diversification happen? Kingdom Monera is diversified into different things. First, simply I can say it converted into archaea, and the second thing is the eubacteria or the true bacteria, right? So I will first explain about the eubacteria. Okay. So Kingdom Monera, in that bacteria, I can make it along, depending upon the morphology, I may divide into several kinds. Okay. One is the cocci, bacillus, vibrio, spirillum. What does this mean? Cocci means, 1 minute, yes. Yeah, cocci means the bacteria which are circular in nature, okay, which are circular, round shaped in nature, okay, cocci. What is the meaning of bacillus? Bacillus means they are rod shaped. Answer, you can answer in the chat box also, I'm seeing here, right? Vibrio means comma shaped, okay, comma, you have to write it like this. Spirula means spiral shaped. Remember guys, sometimes this question may be asked for the 2 marks, sometimes for the 3 marks. When they ask for more than 2 marks, okay, then you have to write the diagrams also. Okay, then just mention the diagram and note down what it is. Okay, cocci means circular, bacillus means rod, vibrio means comma shaped, and spirula means spiral shaped. Okay, this is also the one of the important answers. Okay, sorry, important questions they may ask. When I come to the archaebacteria, it's again divided into 3 different types. Okay, one is methanogens, halophiles, thermoacidophiles. But how we differentiated the archaebacteria? Based on the pseudomurine present in the cell wall. Okay, pseudomurine which is present in the cell wall. Okay, in that first one is the methanogens or methane producing bacteria, where it is present, which is present in the marshy areas and also in the stomach of the ruminant animals. Right? What are the ruminant animals? Ruminant animals are the cow, buffalo, deer, all those things, right? So these are actually anaerobes in nature. That means without oxygen they are survive. And remember, we use this for the biogas production. Okay, we use this for the biogas production. Okay, these are the importance of the methanogens. And what are halophiles? Halo means salt, right? And philes means They are loving or attracting towards that. What are halophiles then? These are present in the salt area. Okay, so they made certain differentiation in their body, and they can present in that much of the strong concentration also. Okay, they may also have carotenoid pigments, so they may be colored in nature. Okay, and they are photosynthetic. Not only ocean, Chirant. Okay, not only. Is there any difference in shapes or then types of the bacteria? That's what we explained, right? The shapes will be cocci and bacilli, spiral, and vibrio. Okay. Yes. So photosynthetic in nature, these halophiles. What are thermoacidophils? Thermoacidophils means present in temperature, high temperature. Acido means acidic nature. Yes, where it will be present. These are present in the high temperature and high acid conditions. That means in the hot springs, especially in sulfur hot springs. Okay, sulfur hot springs. Okay, these are also have the different kind of the composition which made them survive in that much of the harsh condition. Okay, so these are the types of the archaebacteria. Okay, so remember that. And in eubacteria, we also differentiated certain other organisms like a cyanobacteria. What is the meaning of cyanobacteria? Cyanobacteria is also called as, what is the another name of the cyanobacteria? Yes. Examples, no. It's given in the CBSE, then only they will give the examples. Otherwise, they won't ask the examples. Okay. Cyanobacteria is called as the blue-green algae. Remember, these are not belongs to algae, but we call it as the blue-green algae. Okay. So what is the characteristic of cyanobacteria or examples of cyanobacteria? Example will be Anabina. Remember, nostoc, and another one important is spirulina, right? Spirulina is helping the high nutrition, high protein content, which help in the making the food pills, right? Which help in the making of the food pills or protein pills. So important thing in this is the head. What is that? Important thing in this particular is, important thing in the cyanobacteria is, yes, can anyone answer? There is a nitrogen producing cells are there, right? Those are very, very important. Correct, right? Those are called as the heterocyst. Acanids are not given in the book, so no need to tension. Okay, heterocyst only having the nitrogen fixing function. They have the nitrogen fixation function. Nitrogen fixation. Remember that. Okay, na? Only the heterocysts have the ability to what you can fix the nitrogen. Okay. Second thing which we are going to explain is the mycoplasma. What are mycoplasma then? Yes, mycoplasma are the, you can simply define it, right? Mycoplasmas are the cell-wall-less anaerobic bacteria, cell-wall-less anaerobic bacteria. And remember, these are the only cell-wall-less organism in the complete Monera. Okay. Next, when we go to the next particular one, these are normally act as the pathogen to the humans. These act as the pathogen to the humans, and they may have because of there is no cell wall, they show the fluoromorphic. Fluoromorphic means the change in shape. Okay, they may have the different shapes, and these are the simplest and smallest organisms. Correct, Surabhi, right? Simplest and the smallest cells. These are the simplest and smallest cells. You may ask, what about virus? Virus is not a cell because it do not contain the cytoplasm or any other things. Okay, so we not consider the virus as the cells. Okay, we will see that. Next, another one question came. Yes, mycoplasma is also called as PPLO. Okay, yes. Diatoms are also called pearls of ocean. Why? And what is the diatomaceous earth? They are asking why diatoms are called as pearl of ocean and what is the meaning of diatomaceous earth. For that, we will check about the Protista. Okay, here you can see the different kinds of diatoms, right? Diatoms are having the more attractive and different kinds of the shapes. Because of their different kinds of and attractive shapes, it is called as the pearls of the oceans. Okay, it's called as the pearls of the ocean. Okay, Preetham, when we compare to that virus, parvovirus is the smallest. Okay, when you're defining the Protista contain all the unicellular and eukaryotic organisms, but we can't define it properly because it contains very different kinds of the organisms. Example, if we define, when we go for the differentiation, first will be chrysopods. It contains diatoms and also the desmids, right? What is diatoms then? Diatoms are the free living organisms. These are contain silica shells. Okay, when these organisms die, then what happens? These cells will be deposited in the oceans, and millions of years they deposit one place, and they will form a silica rich area, silica rich earth, that's called as diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth. Okay, so this is the diatomaceous earth is cheap, and that's very important because it contains the silica. We use the diatomaceous earth in, yes, diatomaceous earth in the syrups, a filtration process, and also the act as a heat insulator, and also in cleaning industry and any several other characters. Okay, na? Desmids are actually called as golden algae because of the characteristics or golden color. Characteristics, golden color, right? Then why they call dinoflagellates in that particular name? Can you give an example? Dinoflagellates. Any examples? Yes. Dinoflagellates we call in that name because it contains the two flagella, right? And what is the important character of these things or example of this particular thing? These are also, yes, when we compare to this, best example is guanolix, because this causes the particular, when it's growing rich, it will form the red tide. Red tide means what? When guanolix are reproducing in a higher quantity, it will fill that particular lake, and which create a red color stain or red color looks to that lake, that's called red tide. These are actually, this red tide kill the aquatic animals, that's very important. Okay, when you compare to the euglenoids contain the euglena. Okay, euglenoids contains the euglena, and what's the importance of these? These are mixotropic in nature, right? These are mixotropic in nature. What is the mixotropic in nature means? When it contains the light, when there is a light, then one minute, when there is a light, then what it will do? It will photosynthesize. When there is no light, then what it will do? When there is no light, it will act as a predator, right? So that's the important. And the photosynthetic pigment which is present in here, the photosynthetic pigments which actually represent, which is present in the higher animals, sorry, higher plants. Okay, sorry, my mistake, right? So pigments, what is the pigment? The pigment is the chlorophyll, right? Which is present in the higher plants. Okay, remember that particular one. Okay, what is next thing then? So that's the important, and it also contain a pellicle, right? What is the meaning of pellicle? Pellicle is a flexible or protein-rich wall, which is present in the outside of the euglenoids. Okay, when you come to the slime molds is the saprophytic organisms, saprophytic protista, I can say. Importance of this is aggregation of these cells form the plasmodium. Remember, aggregation forms the plasmodium. This plasmodium can produce the spores. These spores only contain true cell wall. Okay, only these spores contain the true cell wall. Because of that, which can withstand the harsh condition, harsh condition. Remember this. Okay, withstand the harsh condition. So these are some of the defining characteristics of the, yes, defining character of the slime mold. Okay, last one is the protozoan. When you come to the protozoan, you have to remember two things as the primary objectives. Okay, what are those things? These are the ancestor of animals. These are ancestor of animals. That's the first thing. Second thing, none of them contain cell wall. That means no cell wall. And all of them are heterotrophic. All of them are heterotrophic. Remember, okay, all of them are dependent upon the other organism only. According to locomotion or movement is divided into 4 types. You know that, right? One will be amoeboid, which contain the pseudopodia, right? Which contain the pseudopodia. Example will be amoeba, or you can also say the example will be entamoeba. Entamoeba causes the disease called entamoeba. Entamoeba causes the amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery, right? Second one is a flagellated, that means which contain the flagella. The example will be trypanosoma, right? Trypanosoma, which causes the which disease? Which causes the sleeping sickness. Sleeping sickness. That means it alters the sleeping pattern of that particular organism. Then that particular organism, without any medication, he may die, right? So third one is the ciliated. That means have cilia, contain a cilia. Okay, remember here we are talking about the eukaryotic organisms, right? And when you come to this, we are come across with paramecium. It's also called as, what is the another name of the paramecium? Yes, can anyone tell? Important thing about this is it contain a gallate. Gallate means which can receive the food and which can exhaust the food from that particular part. Yes, paramecium is called as slipper organism or slipper-like organism. Correct, right? And what are sporozoans? Sporozoans are spore-producing organisms. Remember, sporozoans, all sporozoans are endoparasites. Remember, all are endoparasites. This is the very defining character. Best endoparasite is the best sporozoan is the malaria causing Plasmodium species, right? I'm just writing the Plasmodium species here because there are several species of Plasmodium are there. Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malaria, right? So these are the important things of the correct, so right? So things. Next one question, a 2-kingdom classification is proposed by R.H. Whittaker. How sporozoans move? Sporozoans do not have a particular movement of the body, okay? They move along with our bloodstream, okay, Sachin? A 5-kingdom classification is proposed by R.H. Whittaker, Linnaeus, Roxburgh, Virchow, okay? I'm started the poll now. You can answer in the poll quickly, right? You can answer the poll quickly. Yes. Yes, last 20 seconds. Quick questions, okay? Quick questions. Yes, remember, Rutvik, you forgot already. 5-kingdom classification you forgot, Rutvik. Correct, right? Yes. Yeah. Correct, Swaru. Correct, Aman. Leish. Yes, Laishram, Abhishek, Meghna. Right. I'm ending the poll now. Okay. And I'm sharing the results. 89% A, 7% B, 3% C, and 1% D. Yes, you guys are absolutely correct. The correct answer is option A, Whittaker, which will come across with the cell theory. Okay, that will come in late. Don't go for there. The correct option is R.H. Whittaker. It should be remembered. If you forget that, you have to repeat it correctly. Okay. Next is they are asking, fungi are cosmopolitan. Write the role of fungi in your daily life. Okay, so you can write all bread making, all dosa, idli, and cake, all those thing making. Okay, so fungi, when I write the character, you know that all of them are heterotrophic. All of them are heterotrophic, and you also know that they are either saprophytic Okay, okay, Rutik, right? Or also the parasitic. They are saprophytic or the parasitic. The cell wall is made up of the chitin, right? Some of them also symbiotic. Okay, some of them also the symbiotic, right? When you come across with symbiotic, it will come across with two things. One is the mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza means that particular fungi is actually dealing with or association with, fungi is present association with the plant roots, right? Plants roots, correct. This is a dancing lady fungi, right? Or it may be association with the another what you can say cyanobacteria or algae, then you can call it as the lichen. Fungi plus algae, right? Yes. So what are the reproduction types of fungi? Reproduction types of fungi is divided into two types. One is the asexual types and another one is the sexual type. Okay, when you go for the asexual type, first one is the you can say what is the first type of the asexual type of the reproduction? Do anyone remember? Yes, correct. Conidia. Conidia contain exogenous spores. That means it is one spores will be produced outside, right? Example will be aspergillus. Outside it will be producing the spores. Or it may be a sporangia which is present in the lower organisms. It's an endogenous spores. That means spores will be produced inside that particular organism, right? Example will be, I can take an example of the mucor, right? Third one will be juice spores. Juice spores means, I am writing it once again, juice spores are the motile spores. That means they have the flagella, right? Example, I can give the phycomycetes, okay? And fourth one will be aplanospores. It's also in book, remember, aplanospores. What are aplanospores then? Aplanospores are non-motile spores, do not show any movement, okay? The example also phycomycetes, okay? When you come to the sexual type, it will become different, okay? It become into three types. So one is the oospores, okay? And the second one is the ascospores. Yeah, swan-like structure, ascospores. And another third one is the basidiospores, okay? How all these types of spores are forming? All these types of spores are forming from the three different kind of the process. I'm writing it within the circle, okay? I'm writing within with the circle. First, there will be plasmogamy, okay? That means fusion of the protoplasm. What happens? Two somatic cells will be there. They will fuse. Only the protoplasm will fuse. That's called plasmogamy. Then will be karyogamy. Okay, what is karyogamy? Here now, protoplasm is already fused. Now the nucleus get fused. Okay, karyo means nucleus. Okay. Then last will be meiosis. What is the meiosis? Meiosis means reductional division. That means that diploid cell will convert into haploid cell, right? This is the process of sexual spores. From these spores, depending upon the phylum, it will make three different kinds of spores. Oomycetes. Oomycetes is a type of phycomycetes which produce the oospores. Okay, oomycetes produce the oospores, which is also endogenous spores. Okay, within a compact structure it will form. Okay, ascospores will produce it by ascomycetes, which is produced within a asci, and it will be 8 in number like this. Okay, and basidiomycetes produce the basidiospores. So these are exogenous spores. It will be like this. Okay, exogenously producing. But remember, the process will be same. The process will be same like this only. Okay, so this is the sexual and asexual type of reproduction in fungi. When we go to the different types of the fungi, first thing will be phycomycetes, or called as the algal fungi. So algal fungi is present in the aquatic medium, and the major thing is it can produce by sexual also, by the process, but oospores, okay, by the process of oospores, and it also by the process of asexual reproduction, majorly by the process of zoospores or the aplanospores. Okay, if I give the example, I can give mucor. Okay, second one is the ascomycetes. Ascomycetes is the higher organism which having the septate kind of the nature, and it's called as the sac fungi. Okay, sac fungi, septate in nature, right? Cross walls are there. These are produced sexual by the process of ascospores or ascocarps, and asexual by the process of normally by the process of the conidia. Okay, by the conidia. Okay, here it also produces the sporangiospores. Remember that. Okay, sporangio is also present. What about basidiomycetes? No asexual spores, no asexual method is present. These are called as the club fungi. Okay, Hachirant I will mention. Okay, but it contains the fragmentation. Remember, it do not contain any asexual, but it contains the fragmentation process, and it also contains basidiospores. Okay, by the sexual spores. Okay, basidiospores. When you come to the Deuteromycetes, it do not have any sexual types, non-sexual type. Okay, we don't know what kind of sexual type of reproduction it will show. Okay, and the major examples are here is Alternaria or Trichoderma. All those things are there. Okay, and when I come to the specific reaction here, when a particular sexual reproduction is happening, there is one phase will come that's called as dikaryon. What is the meaning of dikaryon? Di means two, karyon means nucleus, right? So what's happening here? Dikaryon means a single cell have two different kinds of the nucleus. Have two different kinds of nucleus. Okay, so I can simply write two different kinds of nucleus, or having the two nucleus. Okay, having the two nucleus, that's called as the dikaryon stage. This is the important stage in the basidiomycetes, and it also occur in the other organisms. Okay, correct. Deuteromycetes we forgot, right? Deuteromycetes is called imperfect fungi. Okay, imperfect or incomplete fungi because it do not show any we don't know the actual sexual methods. Okay, na? Actual sexual methods. Okay, correct, right? So then how the plants are classified, explain with an example they are asking. Okay, plants are classified in an easy manner. Okay, plants are majorly classified on the basis of different types of their things. First they define into cryptogams and phanerogams. That means crypto means hidden sexual characters, and phanero means showy. Okay, cryptogams contains three types. One is the algae, and the second one is the bryophyte, and the second one is the fern or pteridophyte. Okay, when you come to the phanerogams, it contains gymnosperms and also the angiosperms. Okay, this angiosperms again divided into dicot and monocot. Okay, so only this much will be in this chapter. In next chapter, a detailed version will become. Okay, what are the general characters of animal kingdom? You can define, right? No cell wall, all those characters. That's the very important. You mentioned the no cell wall and no chloroplast, and also the holozoic nature. Okay, so that's it. Next, we will come across with the virus and how the discovery happened. Okay, what you can see here, how that it's discovered from the TMV. What is TMV? TMV means a tobacco mosaic virus. Okay, tobacco mosaic virus. So what is tobacco mosaic virus? A kind of virus which comes to the tobacco plant. They thought that it's not a bacteria. This is smaller than bacteria. Probably it's a kind of venom. Okay, they thought about the venom and they gave the name of the virus. Virus name came from the venom. Okay, so what is the structure then? It contains a protein coat. And that's called as the capsid. Okay, that's called as the capsid. Then what is the genetic material? Genetic material genetic material is the either DNA or RNA. Okay, remember, none of the virus contain both DNA and RNA. Either it may be a DNA or it may be a RNA. Okay, these viruses are actually pathogenic or obligatory pathogenic to the plants and animals and all the other organisms. Okay, venom we already discussed, right? Venom is the thing which is directly injected to your body and which may cause ill effects. Okay, poison is the one which is digested, or if you taken or if you touch it, that is poison. Venom is the what is injected. Okay, so these people also thought that this is also kind of that only. Okay, then what is the difference between viroids? Viroid is the same like the virus, but viroid do not have 1 minute, do not have protein coat, do not have any protein coat. Then what it contain? It contain the free RNA. It contain the free RNA. It causes one of the major disease. Okay, virus disease, you know, right? Viroid causes the potato spindle. Okay, spindle tuber disease. Okay, spindle tuber disease, you can say. Okay, what's happening here? You can see regular potato will be this shape, but what's happening here? It's forming a spindle shape, right? It's forming a spindle shape. So it's called as the potato spindle tuber disease. Okay, or spindle tuber of the spindle tuber of the potato, which is caused by the viroids. Okay, in virus you can say several names: AIDS, corona, all those things, right? Corona is a RNA virus. Remember, some may ask the question. Okay, and last one will be the lichen. Lichen is the symbiotic association of what? Remember, if they ask about you, you have to write a symbiotic association of the phycobiont and also the mycobiont. Remember, what is the meaning of this? Phycobiont representing the algae and mycobiont representing the fungi. They will be present in the close association. Okay, close association, and they will be present like this. Okay, these are completely separate. Okay, is lichens are poisonous? No, lichens are not poisonous. Lichens are edible. Okay, some of the lichens are edible. Some of the lichens may contain, but it's very rare. But some of the lichens are also act as the powder, and your litmus paper also come from the lichen only. Okay, you guys have one question. Okay, no, but it's not wrong. Okay, if you write algae in case of phycobiont, it's not wrong, but writing phycobiont is more better. Okay, your question is biological classification is the dynamic process. Justify. You have to justify it. It is the homework. We will see the next slide. One question came. The question is asking an association between roots of higher plants and fungi is called lichen, fern, mycorrhiza, BGA. What is BGA? BGA means blue-green algae. Blue-green algae. They are asking what is the association between higher plants and fungi. Higher plants and fungi. Remember, don't think that association it will be something. Okay. Yes. Correct. Laishram. Yep. Any others? Yes. Correct. I'm ending the poll now in 10 seconds. Correct, Aman. Correct, Bhargavi. Right. I'm ending the poll now and I'm sharing the results. Okay. 1 minute. 16% choose an option A, 7% B, 63% C, and 14% D. I'm stop sharing the result. Okay. Yes, you guys are absolutely correct. Association called mycorrhiza. Okay. Lichen is just with the algae and the fungi, and fern means a pteridophyte, and blue-green algae associate with certain plants, not with all, and this is not the fungi, right? That's why. Yes. What is fern? It's a pteridophyte. It's the pteridophyte. Okay. Spindle shape of potato makes the harvesting tough. Okay, make the harvesting tough, and everyone don't want it. It will become very long. Okay, not the top major. Okay, so those are the things today we are discussed. If you have any more doubt, you can ask in here in the chat box. I will repeat it again. Okay, all the best for your exams. Tomorrow we will repeat the third and fourth. Okay, third and fourth. Sir, fern means pteridophyte. Tomorrow I will show the picture. Okay. Which one, Ananya? I didn't understand. Yes. 2 chapters are completed. Last third and fourth chapter we will discuss tomorrow. Plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Okay. Only that much is done, I think. What is fern? Fern, I'm just writing the picture. Probably you've seen certain plants like this in your neighborhood or in the roadside or in the school. Okay, these are actually types of the pteridophytes. Those are called as the fern. Okay, there are different types are there. Virus belongs to which group? Means virus are completely separated because though we didn't consider virus as the living beings. Okay, we are having chapters up to the biomolecules. Really? Okay. Oh my God. Slime molds. One more time. Okay. Slime molds. What we can say? These are the smaller organism with a naked type of the cytoplasm. What happens when they are joining? Okay. When they join like or aggregation, do the aggregation like this, they make a separate kind called plasmodium. Okay. These are actually saprophytic in nature. Okay. Yes. No, Manisha, no. These will have the saprophytic in nature. That's very, very important. Okay. And what happens when there is a harsh condition? These may form a fruiting bodies. Okay. These may form a fruiting bodies like this. And these fruiting bodies can survive the harsh condition. And these spores also contain the cell wall. Okay, these spores also contain the cell wall. Okay. Okay, gullet means what? If I take the organisms like this, there is a tube-like structures present in here. Okay, tube-like present in here. From these, the food will go in. Okay, this is act like our mouth. This is act like a mouth. Okay, so that's what we call it as the gullet. In our body also, the presence of mouth is there, right? We call this particular space in between these lips are as the gullet only. Okay. What is obligatory parasite? There are two difference. Okay. Obligatory parasite means it only have one host. Without host, it can't survive. Okay. Some of them are facultative parasites. That means when there is a host, it will act as a parasite. When there is no host, it will survive on its own. Okay. Yes. Is it the plasmodium, malarial plasmodium? That plasmodium and this plasmodium are different. Okay. Here plasmodium means a structure or aggregative structure. Okay. When you go to the sporous one, plasmodium means a species or the genus. Okay. Yes. Any other? History of the virus we have to repeat once again. Okay. What happened in the old generations? There are certain diseases. I will go to the last slide. Okay. There are certain diseases are there. Okay. I'm going to this slide. The major disease is tobacco mosaic virus. Okay. Then what happened? Some scientists like Dr. Avanti, he is a Russian, okay, he saw that and he wanted to separate that particular organism, but he didn't possible to discover, okay. Then what he called that particular organisms as actually a kind of the venom, okay, a kind of the fluid which causes the disease, okay. Then what happened? Bizernek will come. And what he did is he started to extract it, okay. And when he extracted, the drug is infected to some other plant. That plant also showed that particular result. And when he filtrated through the bacterial filtrator, it do not contain it, okay. So then he is also get confused, okay, how much small it is, okay. Then what happened? Then he called these are the infectious fluid, okay. infectious fluid. Later, last will be Stanley will come. Stanley will separated those virus and he made a crystals, okay, and he showed that after these crystals are infected with the host, it again gets the living, it again come to the living, okay. Then they will defined, and later cases they started to study and they come to know that these virus are actually acellular organisms, okay, we do not have any particular cell, and they act as both living and non-living depending upon the host. When it is in the host, it acts like living, and when there is no host, it acts like the non-living, okay. Chirant, prions are not included for exams. If you ask prions are just misfolded proteins which cause the disease. Okay, misfolded proteins. We will explain in the next class. Okay. Plasmodium, I have to explain once again. Sir, if you eat, no, it won't affect you. Okay, it won't affect you. You can eat this spindle tomato, sorry, spindle potato, no issue. Okay, I'm writing it here. You just see this particular also. Okay. Prions is the misfolded proteins. Think that the one protein have to fold like this, but instead it folded something like this. Then it acts abnormally and it causes some diseases that's called as prions. So prions is simple. These are misfolded proteins. Misfolded proteins. Okay. I'm explaining the plasmodium once again. Plasmodium, remember guys, plasmodium is used in several types. One plasmodium is what we are saying is the aggregation of the cells in where? In the slime molds. Okay, in the slime molds. And where we use the plasmodium again, plasmodium is the genus of sporozoans, genus in sporozoans also. Why we gave the name genus in the sporozoan like the plasmodium? Because it show a reproductive type, it show a asexual reproduction type. That asexual reproduction type is also called plasmodium because it looks like the slime mold kind only. Those of asexual reproduction is called plasmodium. It's shown by a genus of sporozoan that's also called plasmodium. Both are different, remember. Okay, this one is different and this one is different. Okay. Okay guys, any more doubts? Okay, then we will meet in the next class. Okay, then bye bye. Tomorrow we will discuss about the third and fourth chapter. Okay, bye bye.